the properties and tips we've featured so far, our viewers are sure to have their own personal favorites.
A lot of people have asked me about the places we've visited, pero parang kulang pa rin eh. We need to give more to our vigilant consumers.
And if you don't know the answers, it's always best to consult the experts. Get a second or even a third opinion.
When it comes to securing properties and you don't know who to ask, sakto! Next up, we have the realty expert's opinion.
I'm here with three respected personalities in the real estate industry to talk about the nitty-gritty of building and buying investments.
Fernando Camus is the chairman of real estate money management and services firm Jones Lang LaSalle Lichu. As the managing director of the Property Forum, a property auctioneer, Mr. Manuel Noli Alieje enjoys access to the latest and up-to-date data on the real estate market. Commissioner Romulo Fabul is the current Chief Executive Officer and full-time Commissioner of the Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board, or HLURB, the government's regulatory body for housing and land investments.
Let's all welcome Commissioner Romulo Fabul, Mr. Noli Alieje, and Mr. Fernando Camus. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for guesting on the show.
Angel.
Let's talk about the developers and how to ascertain their legitimacy and their credibility.
Yeah, well, first of all, before a buyer should buy any subdivision project or condominium unit, he should find out whether the project is registered or licensed with us. They can inquire from our office. We have 16 regional offices, or usually the ads indicate their license to sell number or their brochures in advertisements. So they can inquire from our office. We have 16 regional offices, or the project is legitimate.
Commissioner, what does HLURB stand for the sake of our viewers?
Yes, HLURB is the acronym of Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board. And as our regulatory agency, we regulate the real estate trade, meaning before any developer can sell to the public subdivision lot, subdivision housing lot, or condominium units, they have to register their project with us. In effect, we want the buying public to be protected.
Okay, and the investors can check
Yes.
your website, or does it
yes,
come
we
out
have
in
a
the papers?
website. This is it caters to buyers, developers, local government unit, as well as brokers. The buyers can and the stakeholders can get a lot of information from this. You know, our website is www.hlurb.gov.ph. Okay.
Let's move on to Mr. Alieje. How does one process, or how do you process the value of the property?
Land values basically are very intrinsic. In other words, I'm buying my unit because I want the place, the location. My biggest advice to people who are about to buy properties with relations to valuation is that they have to do a due diligence 24/7. In other words, you just don't go there one day, check it out, and go home and say, I'm going to buy it. You know, you got to go there like 1 week or 2 weeks staying over. You study the traffic, most especially the values of your neighbors. There are some people who would say, I want to sell my land at this much. And then we have what we call the path of progress. Is there development going there? Or, for example, would be the Subic, Clark, and Tarlac way now. No? Land property values will go up there. Another point you would like to look at basically is in migration, out migration. Are people buying into that subdivision, or people buying into that area where you want to live, or are they leaving the area? So if they're buying in, then land values would be going up.
How about the credibility of these developers? How do you check for their credibility?
Basically, you have to look at their track record, more important. If they had any bad projects in the last real estate debacle, you know, would their financial capability, were they able to finish all their projects? Do they deliver what they promise, you know, especially what they register with the HLURB? When they go to the HLURB registration, they have amenities that they have to say that will be in their projects.
And you have to check if these amenities are really
Yes,
being
if they're
made,
there or not there. So that's very important.
How do we assess which property to buy, or which development is good to invest in? Mr. Camus.
Okay, I think that before you buy a property, you have to have your objective in mind. You have to have your funding in place. Because the dangerous thing is when you leap into a commitment of buying and then you run short of funds.
Yes, we see buildings na naka-abandon already. Is
Yes,
that one of the...
it goes for houses, for buildings. Then I think you were also asking about investors.
Yes, sir.
When you buy real estate, whether it's a house or raw land, there are several things to look out for. You have to take care of the property. That means that if it's raw land, there are the possibility of squatters coming in. There's a lot of expenses in owning land, a lot of responsibilities. You have to pay taxes, etc. And when you own real estate, it's not a liquid asset. So all of a sudden, if you need to unload or you need liquid cash, it may take time to sell the property. So you have to bear that in mind before you leap into buying real estate.
How about the developers? What should they watch out for when they go and check out property, when they are interested in purchasing property?
The developer?
Yes.
Well, most developers are experienced. They know their onions. Or else they shouldn't be where they are.
And they wouldn't be registered.
Yes.
They wouldn't
And
be
like Lolly
accredited.
said, first of all, the track record is very important. You have to go and look at the, let's say, communities they have developed, the subdivisions they have developed, and you have to see if people are living in it, if there are communities in those subdivisions.
And as a landowner, a potential landowner, is there like a time frame for us to wait for the developer to turn over property? And after that time frame, is there the next step? What's the next step, Commissioner?
This is one of the things that the buyer should look for, especially on the pre-selling stage. They should look at the completion date. Now, when will the unit or the housing lot be delivered? So, in fact, it's indicated in the license to sell.
Okay.
Because in the event that the development is delayed, the buyer has some rights, in the same manner as he has some obligation. The buyer's obligation is to pay their monthly amortization, while the developer's obligation is to finish the project or finish it on time. In the event that there's a delay on the part of the developer, the buyer has the right to suspend payments and not be imposed penalties.
Okay, but do
Yes.
they have to go to you, sir? Do they have to go to
No,
any
it can be
HRD?
an arrangement between the developer and the buyer.
Yes.
I hope you've listened to all our valuable insights from three gentlemen. Thank you again very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Philippine Realty TV would like to thank Manila Bulletin, Business Mirror, and the following partners.
And now, the sound of great investment. Rise beyond the conventional condo lifestyle. The Symphony Towers at Dimog Avenue. Experience high-class living and utmost accessibility to major thoroughfares and leading commercial, entertainment, and leisure hotspots. The Symphony Towers is truly the new landmark in urban living. The Symphony Towers, the sound of great investment. Only from Polar Minds and Realty Ventures.
The Crown Tower at the University Belt Manila. Look at it this way. Pagtungtong ng anak mo sa college, tapos mo nang bayaran ng unit at malapit pa sa school niya. The Crown Tower at the University Belt Manila. The future looks good.